atheism, it is very, very attractive because it tells you you don't have to do anything. You don't have to be accountable.
So then I wouldn't have to worry if I smacked you upside the head, because it sounds like someone needs to.
You certainly don't have to go to church or synagogue and look inward to see your own sins and to correct yourself and to think of yourself as a flawed human being. No. You just go with your emotions and your feelings.
I find arguments like this very telling. Is this guy saying that his belief in God is the only reason why he doesn't go out stealing from and killing people? Then please, by all means, keep believing. The rest of us somehow don't need God to tell us that. We also don't need God to hold us accountable. We're held accountable by the law, by our culture, by our friends and neighbors, and by, as Gandhi put it, the still small voice within me. And this is even the case with most Christians. They don't go through their day thinking, I better not do this or God will send me to hell. They're thinking about legal punishment. They're thinking about losing their jobs or their friends. They're thinking about how they just wouldn't be able to live with themselves. That is, when they think about it at all, which is kind of rare for most of us. We just don't spend the day thinking about how we're going to cause harm to others. We're just living our life, being no threat to anyone else. If you're different, then please get help. And not from a minister, because that seems to be doing more harm than good.
By golly, go for it. You want to lie, you want to gossip, that's okay too. In fact, if you want to steal a little bit, that's okay, so long as you get away with it. That is the mindset of the atheist.
Then how come there are a lot fewer atheists in prison? That's a statistic you people never seem to want to deal with for some reason.
The reality is the reason why society works is because there is a sense that we are accountable for our actions, whether people see it or not.
Exactly! And that's as true for secular societies as it is for religious societies. Thanks for debunking your own point. I love it when they do that. Saves me a lot of work.
And the attraction of atheism is that you no longer have to be accountable. It's an incredible magnet. And that's the fight we're really fighting, because when you're asking somebody to be a Christian or to be a devout Jew, you're asking him to work hard. People don't want to work hard. They want to be told that they don't have to work hard, and not only that, but they're better people for not working hard. And that's what atheism offers.
And yet we see a lot of atheists in executive positions and other positions of success. When simple observations like that refute your idea, it makes people wonder if you have any valid points to make at all. I like Lurie's videos. I especially like how short they are. So short that I think we can fit in one more.
I've always said this. You need to figure out that there is a God. And that's incumbent upon you.
No. It's on you to prove it. You made the claim. Stop shifting the burden of proof. And this is a funny thing to hear from a guy who just told us that it's atheists who try to avoid accountability. And this video was uploaded less than 2 months later.
We all seem to appreciate how great it feels to earn anything. For example, maybe you worked really hard and now you have tens of thousands of dollars to be able to buy that car or put a deposit on the house. There are many great feelings that engenders, right?
Yeah, so thinking about the point of the last video, that means we don't need God to do that, right?
You earn God. People often talk about God that they just want him to enter their hearts and show himself, and that there'll be some booming voice from the skies saying, I am here. Okay? It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, God doesn't even do the slightest thing to show any evidence whatsoever that he actually exists, even though it would be incredibly trivial for him to do so. Funny, isn't it? Especially since, according to you people, it's crazy important that we believe in him and worship him. I mean, I don't care if anyone worships me, but not for nothing, if I did, I'd do everything I could to let them know I exist. It seems the least one could do, especially for an all-powerful being.
For some reason, We humans need to strive. One of the mitzvot in the Torah is that you should know that there's a God. What does that mean? It means that you need to work hard to appreciate and bring God into your life.
You certainly need to do a lot of mental gymnastics.
I've always said this. You need to figure out that there is a God. And that's incumbent upon you.
Must be nice to just be able to deny all responsibility and accountability for this. Your efforts to prove God over thousands of years have all been completely and pathetically debunked. So now you're basically giving up and saying it's our fault somehow. We need to do the work to prove God to ourselves. Well, here's a clue for you, Lurie. Many of us already have. We were born into Christian households, raised Christian, and decided to search for the proof of our beliefs, wanting to prove them true. And we couldn't. Instead, we learned about science and reason, and that was the fruit of our hard work, not God.
When you work hard to figure out all the possibilities and probabilities in the universe as to how wildly improbable it would be that this universe, this Earth, life on the planet for that matter.
And now we've moved over into fine-tuning, which has already been debunked over and over again. I think I'm seeing why this guy wants the onus to be on us to prove it, because he can't.
And the intelligence on Earth would somehow come about all randomly.
And that's what he wants you to do. Sit and think and contemplate about how it couldn't have happened randomly and put in the work to shove God in as an answer, as opposed to putting in the work into reading and discovering the science, which doesn't say it came about randomly, because then you'd realize this is just a pathetic straw man.
These are things that eventually, as you piece them together, you realize that all of this can be explained by way of God, and nothing else makes sense without God.
Yeah, except, again, if you put in the work to study actual science, you find the exact opposite. It's funny what work you're asking them to do and what work you aren't.
You have no purpose without God.
I can find my own purpose, thank you very much. I don't need you or God or whoever else to tyrannically impose one on me.
You have to, however, strive to find God. And when you do earn God and realize that God is real, and you bring Him into your life, you enjoy that process, that earning, so much more.
And if you do the work to learn science, you find that you enjoy the weird and bizarre and counterintuitive truth, and actually prefer it to pretty lies like what Lurie teaches you. So thanks for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, leave a comment, and go to donate.bogosity.tv to keep me doing what I do. And check out all the great content here, like this video selected just for you.